all these houses burnt down. They scraped them, cleaned them up, and now they're all for sale. Looks like they're building on that. This is horrible. All these houses burnt down. And now they're selling them. These people don't even want to come back. So many for sale signs on them. People are like, I'm just done. I can't do this anymore. Between the floods and the fires.
Erosion.
Yeah, the erosion, the ocean is another thing. The water comes up.
What spooks me is, how did so many of these homes survive?
I don't know, but that's the street I used to live up. Actually, that one that's down, that's where I live, right next to the white one. So the house that I lived in is gone too. Yep, that's the one I lived on, because here's the Dukes down here. That was my street. Wow. Now, Duke survived. We used to jump that fence right there to get to the beach because there was no beach access. Duke survived, but then they lost a lot of business for many months with all the PCH being closed and everything. So these homes were spared. These houses got lucky, although I don't know if you want to call them lucky because they just get so much destruction from the ocean. And then these right here, so how did these burn and then the other ones didn't? So these are down to the ground. They've just cleared them out, cleaned them out. There's another for sale sign coming up. Looks like this one is either brand new construction
Boarded up.
or was under construction. Here's all more that were, oh, this is just so devastating to think that these used to all be houses here.
Imagine what inland areas looked like.
Oh, yeah, this is, and how the fire got over here on this side is like, how did it jump? Because there's stuff on the other side
Wind.
that didn't get burnt, but then the ones right on the beach, and not all of them. Here's another section right here, just burnt to the ground. They've already come and scraped them all up, so they're working fast to get these houses cleaned up and cleared off, and there's really not even any room to build underneath them. You got to put pillars underneath to go underground to hit bedrock before you can start building, and then you have to deal with the natural fire, the erosion of the beach. Look at this one. This one's just totally singed. All this used to be houses. Home after home after home, built, just burnt to the ground, gone. It's like a war zone. This one still has a car in it. This one has a Jeep or a truck in front of it.
Porsche.
My God. All of this was houses. There never used to be any gaps in here. This was all homes. But you can see what they built these houses on. They're right over the water. You can see how the water just comes up and goes underneath them. So how they're going to be able to build, they're never going to be able to rebuild all this back up. It's going to be 50 to 100 years before it, if it ever gets back to where it was back in the day, where this was all houses. There's just nothing here. You can see the pillars that's what these houses stood on. That's another for sale sign, another lot for sale. And then these guys survived. How did these 4 houses survive? And then there's a couple more here that were burnt down. There's not much to work with here. Like I said, the water comes and splashes the front of the house.
Oh, look, these are generators.
Yeah, so they had some type of problem where
Those homes might not have power.
Right.
This has been months later now.
Yeah. And fire damage, for sale, will clean. Fire damage, that was a sign that said for sale, will clean. Now, there were no houses here, so this has always just been parking to come and park and check out and enjoy the beach. But that was just a little small part of PCH, of just the amount of destruction. I would say that was probably over 100 homes that were just burnt down. Just on PCH. Now here's where homes started up again. You can see all the pillars that are just still there standing. So the pillars survive. So what do you build here? You build on concrete and you make your whole house concrete, and then it won't burn down. Just absolutely nothing. But you can see right here, here's a good idea of how the water just comes up right underneath the homes. And these houses have been dealing for years with floods. The floods come in their living rooms, so their bottom levels get flooded out. The underneath their house gets wet, and they're constantly dealing with mold issues. And so I'm sure a lot of these homeowners are just, they're done, they're fed up, they're sick of it. Look at this. The parking is an issue, traffic is an issue, and this is standing and it's for sale. This guy's like, I want out. So are there going to be some good deals here for people to get? Sure, but what about the people that lost their homes? I feel extremely sorry for them. And now we're getting back into, oh my gosh, okay, so this used to be where the pottery place was, right over here. Actually, this used to be, the motel survived. However, everything around it looks like it's gone. It looks like they're using that lot over here for a staging area. No, the motel's gone. The sign is there, but the little Malibu motel, it's gone. Topanga Beach Motel, totally burnt to the ground. Just nothing. Okay, this is really sad. This is where the Vaughn's Market used to be, up here on the left. There used to be some condos where this green, up back in here. That's all gone. They've just got construction. Everywhere you go in Malibu, there's construction going on. You can't avoid it. So if you're planning on taking a scenic drive on PCH, 2 lanes turns into 1 lane. And then here was another restaurant up here that burnt down. Is it still there? Okay, maybe this one survived, the Ocean Club. So that one did survive. Everybody thinks Malibu, oh, it's so fancy, it's so pristine, it's so gorgeous. Well, it's not so gorgeous anymore after the fires. It's left a lot of destruction in its path. And like I said, the beaches are just, they're not very wide. As you can see, if high tide comes up, there is no beach. The lifeguard towers are literally right on the road on PCH. Very little beach. Okay, and there's the Getty. Now, the Getty did survive. The Getty Villa. That's up at the top up there. That used to be the original Getty Museum. And this survived. So they are very lucky that that did not get burnt down.
Look at the effort put into stabilizing the hill.
Yeah, a lot of work just going into Malibu to keep the hillsides from sliding down into PCH. That's always been a problem. Every time it rains here, there's mudslides. After the rains, we have fires. So it's a vicious cycle that just never seems to end. And it's unfortunate, but living in California, we've just seen it for so many years. So we're driving down PCH going southbound. We started at Point Magoo, and we're just taking a scenic route today home from Santa Barbara. Wanted to see what PCH looked like after the fires. And it's not pretty. Okay, this is Gladstone. So Gladstone survived. That's another restaurant on the ocean. So if you're coming to Malibu, make sure you bring some patience because the traffic is, although it's not too bad today, but there is always a lot of traffic and congestion that you will have to deal with. Like I said earlier, the 2 lanes turns into a single lane off and on throughout PCH. So it's not really anything you can avoid.
Speed limit's 25 too. And when they're enforcing it, you do not want to mess with that. I've seen 5 and 6 people pulled over at the same time in the same area.
Parking on PCH is not easy. But that's what everyone's coming for, is the Pacific Ocean. Catch a view. Here you go. Here's a lifeguard tower right on PCH. That's how little beach some of Malibu has. Now, for months, they would only let the residents up here. You would have to go to the parking lot at 1200 PCH, and you'd have to get a pass so you can get in and out. They wouldn't just let anyone in. This up here used to be a trailer park or for trailer homes, and it's just absolutely flat. So that whole thing burnt down. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Wow.
Cars are still in there.
You can see these trees are black, so they burnt, they're dead. This is Temecula Canyon Road. Temescal Canyon Road. correction on that one. Temescal Canyon Road. My eyes can't see that well. And this is Pacific Palisades Beach right over here. As you can see, it's pretty crowded. It's where beach volleyball players come. They have a lot of volleyball courts over here at the upper end. And then down here is the actual beach part. Okay, so the speed limit now is 45, so there's no construction zones right now, but you do need to be careful because every once in a while it goes into a 25 mile an hour zone, and you do not want to get a ticket going over the speed limit when you're in a 25. They are pulling people over left and right on PCH for speeding because there's so much construction, and they're also losing lanes, so that's another reason why they're doing it. And then here is the beach volleyball courts, and people are out there playing today. Looks like we got a whole group over here. So people are out on this Sunday afternoon enjoying the day. There used to be something right here. I can't remember what it was, and it's burnt to the ground. Oh, that used to be this little snack stand right there. It's gone. Wow. What's the name of this street?
Entrada. Well, one of them is Entrada.
We are leaving Malibu. We're going to be entering Santa Monica. The fires kind of stopped around here, but they didn't stop up in the mountains to your left, up in the hills. They still continued to burn for a very long time. But as far as anything down here in Santa Monica, the fires didn't really, they were in the danger zone for sure. A lot of this was in the evacuation zone, but people didn't actually have to evacuate because they were able to contain the fires coming this far here. And this is Santa Monica now. And that's the beach club. And then this is the Annenberg Beach House. They do have a swimming pool here. They have volleyball courts. They have a restaurant. So it's a very nice little beach to come to, especially if you have little kids, you want to take them to a swimming pool and then still be able to go to the beach. It's pretty nice. Now along the beach, there's several different restaurants called Perry's Cafe, and they do serve up a great lunch and breakfast. They are a little expensive on the pricey side. Everything is made to order, so it does take time. So if you're ever out, I highly recommend eating at one of their cafes, Perry's Restaurant, and just make sure you have time to wait for your food. Don't order your food at 12 o'clock and expect to get it 10 minutes later because it's going to be a 30-40 minute wait. Kind of like we are sitting here waiting in line, waiting in traffic. This is California Incline up here on your left. This is how people were getting down, and they were coming up here and they were driving up to this parking lot to get passes so they can get into Malibu. this is the parking lot they used for the holding station to get the residents into their houses when the fires hit. And to your right is a Perry's Cafe right there, that red sign. They're all up and down in Santa Monica. And we're going to end this video right here to your right at the Santa Monica Pier where Route 66 ends.
There's a reminder, watch your speed.
Yeah, you can see the cops are out. They are out pulling people over left and right. There is our world famous Santa Monica Pier. If you've never been, it's very beautiful. There's a lot of things to do for the kids, places to eat. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time.